Hello and welcome back to Hezza and Penni Whistle's Bad Fanfiction. I'm going to be reading you a requested story from a viewer. Are you ready to hear the tags first before I say the title?
So I've not read this one at all. This one's completely Hezza-led, and I've just seen the tags and already I'm... the viewers can't see yet. There you go, there's some tags.
Okay.
Now, who's it by, first of all?
First of all, it is by Spartan C99.
You know what you did, Spartan C99.
And here are the tags for you if you cannot be bothered to read. Oral sex, somnophilia, deep throating, bestiality, cum inflation, fucked stupid, prolapse, huge cock, mind break, donkey freefall, adultery, anal fisting, all the way through, stallion freefall.
It's all the way through me.
Well, I guess we're about to find out. And here is the summary of What Are You Doing in My Swamp. Shrek walks in on Donkey sleeping after their first meeting and sees something he can't help but lose control over.
Sort of my pet peeves right there.
I'm going to skip the notes because they're not spicy.
He has never written anything before. I'm assuming this is a guy.
I'm assuming so too. This is chapter 1. Sunlight bloomed through the window to Shrek's shack as chirping birds slowly stirred the hulking green male from his peaceful slumber filled with pleasant dreams of his life alone inside his swamp. With a groan, the rather chubby male sat up and rolled his legs off the edge of the bed before standing up and stretching. Hands grazing the top of the shack as he yawned before grabbing his tunic and slipping it on, scratching at himself as he slowly approached the door to his bedroom, which opened with only the lightest of creaks.
Aesthetic.
Stepping out into the main room of his shack, Shrek was assaulted by two rather contrasting feelings, one after another. The first, a soft, bubbling anger as he spotted the small grey donkey that had taken up residence in his home only a few days before, after the ogre had scared off a number of guards, claiming to work for a man named Lord Farquaad. The second, a sudden and strong urge of surprise and a strange arousal as his eyes focused on the donkey's underside.
Let me see that undercarriage.
The small grey donkey had fallen asleep on his back with his legs spread, showing off his underbelly. Something that usually the ogre wouldn't have even given a second thought to, if not for the absolutely monstrous cock erupting out from between the smaller male's hind legs. Clearly, Donkey was suffering from a case of morning wood, although unlike the ogres, whose own reasonable cock could tend his bedsheets if he woke up in such a state, the smaller male's own length almost brushed against the underside of the donkey's chin as he snored.
DreamWorks, get on this. You need to animate this.
It's all ogre now. For a moment, the ogre simply stood in awe at the sight of a dick honestly longer than his arm, easily as thick. But that wasn't even the end to the donkey display, as now on full display for the huge ogre hung two balls that each looked so massive the ogre will barely be able to hold one in each hand. The thought of just how much seed the massive cum tanks must contain sent a very new and enticing shiver up the ogre's spine.
I thought Pete was stored in the balls.
They are.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy. Shrek simply stood, mouth hanging open, as his brain tried to comprehend the sight in front of him for several moments before Donkey gave the soft murr, kicked one of his legs and blasted a shot of thick milk, pre so huge it plastered the side of his shack, just behind Donkey's head, and soon formed a rather sizable puddle at the base.
That's not how pre-cum works.
I think this guy is a virgin.
Yeah, I think he is too. I sure hope he is.
The ogre had no idea how to react. His brain seemed to have come to a complete halt. Not a single thought filled the ogre's head, except for the sight of that enormous donkey dick. That was until the scent of the smaller male's reached the larger male, assaulting his sinuses and quickly ensuring that the ogre's body understood what it needed to do, even if his brain was still unable to catch up.
Oh God. There's 5 chapters of this.
There is. We'll see how far I can get. In almost a drunken haze, the ogre stumbled forward, dropping to his knees at the end of the couch where Donkey's hind legs rested, his huge green hands reaching up, one wrapping around the base of Donkey's monster dick, while the other cupped one of the smaller male's impossibly huge balls. Luckily, or perhaps unluckily for the ogre, it seemed that Donkey was a rather heavy sleeper, as not even the ogre's huge hand struggling to wrap all the way around Donkey's monster shaft, or pulling softly as bloated balls caused him to awake.
Oh God.
Would you wake up if someone gently cupped your balls?
I think I would, yeah. It's quite a delicate area.
Well, Donkey must have had like some melatonin, or what's that American brand? NyQuil?
NyQuil,
Yeah.
Sipping that night nurse.
Night nurse. Slowly, Shrek's hands started to move, almost on their own accord, one sliding up to about the medial ring that stuck out about 1.5 foot from the root of the donkey's mammoth dick, while the other softly massaged one of Donkey's balls, feeling the heat radiating from it. The ogre could swear he could feel it churning up a fat load, ready to impregnate whatever was paying such tender attention to the spire the ball was attached to.
Is he his balls ice cream machines?
Yes. It's the McDonald's ice cream machines.
With a teat attached to it.
Yeah. For precision. Another soft murr drew Shrek's eyes up to Donkey's head where his eyes still remained closed. But now the tip of his unholy cock had started to shot pre in an almost constant stream. If he didn't do something about it soon, either Donkey would wake up from the weight of the pre soaking into his fur, or they would both end up swimming in donkey cum to reach the breakfast table. I'm not sure if that would take a long time to do that, and I don't think Donkey would be asleep that long.
Also, is that not just like an accurate description of hell? Having to swim through donkey cum to reach the breakfast table?
Yeah, probably. Damn, Satan's at it again. Oh, God. Again, Shrek's body had the answer. Even if his mind still hadn't recovered enough to function, the ogre's second hand finally released the ball it had been massaging, and reached up to join its brother already wrapped around Donkey's shaft, finally making it easy for the ogre to get a firm grip all the way around Donkey's spire of meat, and allowing the ogre to lift the heavy shaft away from Donkey's head until it stood straight up. An almighty soft pink spire of horse dick that shifted to speckled black near the base. I appreciate this guy's attention to detail in his writing.
Oh, but reusing the word spire so quickly there.
Oh yeah, you have to knock off points for that.
The meat spire I was into, but you know.
The ogre realised that from his kneeling position and Donkey's lying back across the couch, he couldn't even reach the tip of the smaller male's breeding tool. He had to stand up just to be able to lean down and wrap his lips around the flat, broad tip of Donkey's massive dick. Although as soon as the rush of Donkey's pre-seed spilled out across the ogre's tongue, he knew he would be happy to assume any position as long as he can suck on the smaller male's magnificent cock.
This is how women work, right?
Yes.
Yeah, straight women, I should add. But
This is exactly how it works. Shrek's hands return to their previous duty of stroking along the length of Donkey's dick, only this time from just behind the tip all the way down to just behind the medial ring and back, milking huge, surging mouthfuls of Donkey's sweet earth pre-seed into his mouth, forcing the ogre to gulp down mouthful after mouthful of the smaller male's salty slick. I've not heard it called that. I'm quite impressed.
so, when I met Abby's mum, my partner, her mum for the first time, we played Cards Against Humanity that night. And so she read one that said, like, a salty surprise. I was like, oh, that's a good name. We should call our chocolate-covered bacon that.
I like that.
And,
She should do that. I'd buy it.
Her husband had to explain to her what it meant.
Was Abby mortified?
Yes.
Can you do an impression of Abby being mortified in that situation?
Oh gosh, oh heck, oh no.
Perfect impression. You should get Abby to listen to this story once we release it.
Oh my god, if she can handle the cringe.
She can take it like a champ.
She can take it like Shrek.
Yeah. Yeah, just take it like Shrek. Forehead. However, just slurping on Donkey's tip soon wasn't enough for the greedy ogre. He felt a strange tingling fire deep inside him. A hunger that demanded he not only swallow every last drop of the smaller male's thick, virile nut, but he deep-throat Donkey's enormous dick and allow the little grey male to blast all directly into his stomach where it belonged. Wouldn't have Donkey have woken up by now?
Absolutely. I just hope I have thick, virile nut.
Nut butter. And, like, has Shrek drugged Donkey with NyQuil or something? Because that's what it's feeling like. I feel like I'm reading a rape.
Oh, okay. Did you ever read that story about the Russian, I think she was a hairdresser who captured a burglar and then used him as a sex slave?
Yes.
Russian... Sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a Daily Mail article, gross, but...
Don't you mean the Daily Fail?
I do. God, if this thing loads.
Like, Donkey is apparently into Shrek's mouth.
Screw it, images, we'll just find the headline. Woman keeps captured burglar as sex slave. God, that's from an ancient website. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I remember it, because apparently, like, the burglar was crying afterwards or something.
She was, like, force-feeding him Viagra.
Nice. Is it assault?
Absolutely, yes it is.
Yeah.
Russians probably wouldn't think so, sadly.
We'll have to ask Darcy.
Yeah.
With a deep breath and soft gag, Shrek forced his head down, Donkey's broad tip mashing against the back of his throat before bathing it in his water pre-seed, getting the ogre's throat soft and wet enough that with another firm push, the slightly louder gag, the grey male's massive tip slipped past the pesky opening into the ogre's throat and quickly claimed several inches of Shrek's throat as its breeding hole.
Please never call my throat a breeding hole.
Remind me to tell Abby to call it that.
She won't.
She won't, but Tom might.
Tom absolutely will.
Shrek felt tears welling up in his eyes as he huffed and gagged, his hands still dutifully jerking off the smaller male's dick as his burning throat struggled to accommodate the invading beast throbbing inside it. Unfortunately for the ogre, Donkey's body finally took the exact moment to respond to the warmth wrapped so tightly around his length, calling the smaller male to buck his hips and stuff over a foot of donkey dick up into the ogre's unprepared throat.
The name of our second album, I believe.
Third now.
Third. Unprepared Throat.
Yeah. Threk's whole body convulsed, spit erupting out of his mouth around Donkey's enormous spire of flesh, as the broad tip of the smaller male's dick barreled down his throat and claiming the big green male as his morning fleshlight. By the time Donkey's hips retreated back and his monster cock slipped back up the ogre's throat, it was too late for the larger male. His brain had melted completely, fucked out of his head by the small grey male in one single sleeping thrust. I don't like the repeating of the small grey male constantly.
Yeah, he has a name.
It's Donkey!
Yeah.
But one thrust was not going to be enough for Donkey's sleeping body. Oh no. It had the tight, wet, welcoming warmth of a willing whole to breed, and soon enough another harsh thrust stuffed the smaller male's cock even deeper down the ogre's throat, causing both Shrek's hands to release the smaller male's spire and desperately grab onto the couch for support as Donkey started lazily fucking his way towards the green male's stomach.
So your stomach is full of hydrochloric acid, and your stomach produces mucus from goblet cells in order to protect itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine your tip would get very sore if you actually reached the stomach.
Extremely. Imagine the burns.
The blisters. Oh.
Ugh. However, even Donkey's deep sleep could not last forever, and finally the smaller male's eyes peeled open, blinking a few times before looking down between his legs to see the sloppy, spit and pre-soaked face of the ogre between his legs, swollen lips kissing up against his medial ring with his eyes rolled all the way back into his head. Shrek?
You can do a better impression than that, come on.
I can't remember what he sounds like.
What's the actor called again?
Is it Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. Shrek? No, I
Shrek?
can't do the impression either.
God, don't criticise me if you can't do it.
I did an acceptable Northern Irish accent earlier.
You did. That's all you get. It's gone now. With a remarkable display of restraint, Donkey planted both his feet on the larger green male's shoulders and pushed, forcing the ogre up and off his cock before he flopped down backwards onto the floor, coughing and spluttering as his body desperately tried to pull in the oxygen it had been missing due to Donkey's titanic length. I guess this is Donkey talking.
Yeah.
Well, that's one hell of a wake-up call. I didn't think you'd be into this kind of thing. Shrek groaned from his spot on the floor, faced a total mess of Donkey's pre-seed and the sticky saliva from halfway down his throat. I can't do this. Can Donkey, please?
It's fine, he's voiced by a Canadian. Just do one of those.
Okay. The ogre raised his head from the floor, eyes glazed, mouth hanging open, all his attention still totally centered on the smaller male's magnificent cock. Donkey chewed his lip for a moment, as he thought before breaking out into a bright smile. Alright, fine. On your way back, open your mouth once I'm done with you. I'm making waffles.
I'm making waffles.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's cursed. And I want to read what the comments say.
There is none, by the looks of it.
Oh, it says this
Oh
one.
no, there is some.
Best thing ever. Yeah, make more of this. Oh shit. This was posted. The author replied on the 26th of April, so like last week.
Oh shit.
Oh, I don't want to read more.
Let's find another Shrek then.
I do have an idea for the next video though.
I know you do.
Well, no, a new one I mean. Come on, yeah, let's find something Shrek-tastic.
It looks like a mashup of multiple different things fighting.
Yeah, I saw. I had a look at the site. I'm looking at the filters, right? And it's like, what warnings do you want to include? And the bottom two are non-consensual or underage.
Oh no. On this channel, we do not condone underage things of any kind.
We don't. We really don't.
We will beat up any of those who prey on underage people.
Indeed.
I have a walking stick with ice spikes and I'm not afraid to use it.
Do you feel like doing the voices from SpongeBob? Because apparently there's 34 crossovers.
Yeah, go on
then. Fun fact, loads of the English voice actors from SpongeBob were also in Final Fantasy X.
It's true. SpongeBob is Rin.
I'm trying to find one that's just those two. Rather than... There's one here that's Shrek, Sonic the Hedgehog, SpongeBob and the Bee Movie.
I love this.
Oh, here's one.
There's one with King Julian from Madagascar, and the title is "We'll Move It Again in My Swamp."
Okay, this one's short.
Okay, send me the link. Am I reading? Or you?
I'll do this one.
Okay.
This is Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life by Lilix2.
Not to be confused with the amazing YouTube video.
I want to check out Lilix2's profile as well. Well, this is their only major work and it was released on the 2nd of March, so know that you've been featured in a high-profile YouTube channel so quickly. Reach out to us, let us know your inspirations.
Maybe we'll feature you in another one.
Maybe. I'm going to guess, based on this, that this is like a 15-year-old girl who's written it. Alternative, well, actually, no, SpongeBob's not. They don't make any anymore, do they?
What, SpongeBob?
Yeah.
No, I think it's done now.
So it might be a 30-year-old woman. Anyway.
I love the tags.
Major character death. Angst, hurt, no comfort, established relationship. We're the 67th people to read this.
Wow.
A crack fic. It's by a few people. Techlix, Asparagus and Lilix2. Maybe they did what we did and sat in a Skype call and awkwardly wrote it.
Yeah.
Do you remember Skype?
Good times. Shows our age.
Squidward was a clarinet player after all. He was experienced in using his mouth well. As Squidward looked up from his crouched position, Shrek had stared down at him in anticipation.
This definitely sounds like sat in a Skype call, writing it together, line after line.
In anticipation. No one loved Squidward as much as Shrek, and Squidward was comforted by this fact. Being comforted by this fact, Squidward had began his administrations.
What's that supposed to mean?
Squidward had leant down and spit into Shrek's shoe. He grabbed his rag and began shining Shrek's shoe. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
Very attentively. Squidward didn't really like work, but he would do it for Shrek. Anything for Shrek. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. That ... shoe is absolutely something we would write.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shrek looked down upon Squidward with appreciation, a smile in his eyes. You're doing so well for me, Squidward.
What the fuck was that?
Shrek, obviously. Squidward blushed in response. He loved seeing Shrek's green skin darken with a blush. He loved Shrek with all his heart.
Ooh woo.
This had all started when they first met at a bar downtown. Squidward had been hired to play at the bar, so every night when he finished his work shifts, he would grab his clarinet and head towards the bar. He had witnessed people come and go, and none ever caught his eye. He could care less for those people, until one faithful night he saw him. He had never seen such perfect green soft skin, and his eyes, oh how capturing they were, Squidward thought. Now him and Shrek are taking a vacation from the swamp. It was supposed to be a relaxing, romantic trip. It wasn't supposed to end like this. He shouldn't be cradling his dead husband's body as he wails through the night. They were making a cut through the forest until an army of men attacked them.
Oh no!
Men, the deadliest game. Shrek tried his best to protect his petite husband, but it costed him his life. Squidward wishes he could go back and choose another place to go. Stella! He insisted on going even with Shrek's worries. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. Oh, how he wishes he could see Shrek smile again.
I'm so touched. My eyes are watering. I don't know if it's because it's so funny or I'm genuinely invested in this story.
Big dick Baku bitch left kudos on this story.
Oh.
And we will too.
Yeah.
Can we leave a comment as a guest? Oh, we sure can.
Yeah.
Penny and Hezza. Do we have an email for our YouTube channel? We must do.
Yeah, we do. It's in... I don't want to get DOSed, so I'll show it you.
I'm about to write it on screen anyway.
Yeah, give me a second.
Well, it's about to get written on the screen, so...
But how many people actually pay attention to the screen?
Well, they can send fan mail there if they want.
I guess, yeah.
Hello there. We will be featuring this story on a video on Gooby Gang Gaming's. Oh, I've just realised the playlist is called Bad Fanfic. Do I tell them it's called that?
Yeah. But then be like, we actually thought it was well written. I think it was really well written.
Bad Fanfic show. But we were so intrigued by where this story was going. We'd love you to get back to us with any updates you have, or would you like to join us in a call to talk about it?
Honestly, I would happily sit and talk to them about it. I'm really invested in the story.
I don't know if we're going to be able to post URLs in a guest comment.
I don't think so, but if you look up Gooby Gang Gaming, you'll find us.
I'm going to try anyway. Switch account. Oh, by the way, this is my actual YouTube channel. Feel free to visit that.
I have one too, but you're not going to have it. I post on Gooby Gang Gaming as well when I can be bothered.
The playlist is set from the beginning now as well. Oh well. We need to set up a channel URL as well.
Yeah, we do.
Here's our channel. Or email us at goobygang4@gmail.com. Yeah, let me post the links.
Yeah.
Penny and Hezza. I hope they get back to us.
Me too.
Do you want to do one more quick one?
Yeah. I accidentally closed it.
No worries, I'll link you, I'll find one. Oh, 9 words. The title looks so good, but...
Sad.
Oh, this only got 310 words. This is a quick one. When you're ready, darling.
Thank you, darling.
Only 22.
I've just read what the pairing is. Okay, so the relationship featured is Draco Malfoy and Shrek. There are no tags, but it is mature. I might need my water in a moment. Attraction blooms in the randomest of places. By he exits, pursued by a bear. Summary. Draco's portkey malfunctions and lands him in the swamp of a rather sexy ogre. Note, my friends and I wrote this while playing Frantic Fanfic and decided to post it. What's Frantic Fanfic?
I'm already looking it up. A creative writing party game.
We need to get on this.
We absolutely need to play this.
How many players?
I'm trying to look it up. It's in Comic Sans. Let me tell you about that.
Because the other members of the Gooby Gang would be on this.
They have merch and everything.
I love this.
They have a zine or a zine. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Zine, I think.
How to play. Oh my god, I don't actually. There's a guide to streamers and an asset folder. Okay. We will pull everyone in at some point and figure it out. But we need to play this game that looks amazing.
Okay. It was late at night and Malfoy was running, stumbling through unknown woods. He had no idea where he was. His portkey had malfunctioned and landed in some god-awful smelling place. He stumbled, tripping and falling into a giant vat of mud. In front of him stood a great oaf of a beast, and when the beast began to speak, "What are you doing in my swamp?"
I still prefer my Shrek impression.
I'm trying not to be too loud because of my neighbours. Yes, we are recording, actually sat in front of each other.
Yeah, I went, hey, I can get a flight for £32, should I show up in Finland?
And I said, yes.
And now Heather doesn't get to sleep because I snore.
This is very true. But I'm so happy seeing one of my best friends of 10 years just randomly turn up in the middle of the week.
Don't make it gay.
It's always gay. When the Gooby Gang are involved.
We're like the straightest members of the Gooby Gang.
It's very true. Draco was stunned by both the brashness of his words and his utter beauty. Unsure of how to respond, he stuttered out his signature. "My father will hear about this." The ogre just sneered down at him. And oh, what a glorious sneer it was. "Your father, eh? What's he gonna do all the way out here?" Went Irish there for a second. Draco hadn't considered this. Cold, wet and dirty. He pointed his wand at the absolute snack of a beast. "Listen here, you filth. You will take me somewhere I can get rid of this disgusting mud." He had never felt so belittled as the ogre stood there laughing at him. "What are you going to do with that stupid stick? I'm an ogre, bitch."
I read that line, that's why I started laughing.
Draco was stunned. His eyes widened, and for the first time he saw the wide stature that was this creature. He had never seen anything like it at Hogwarts. He had never seen much of anything. It was always the stupid trio that did everything. He was supposed to be the one in the spotlight. Draco has anger issues and he lets those thoughts get the best of him. "Avada Kedavra," he said, but nothing happened. "Your magic won't work here, I'm afraid."
Is that Shrek?
Apparently. Now, "Your magic won't work here, I'm afraid." Fuck it, I've lost it. It's gone. It's fucking gone. The beast got out of his swamp and sauntered towards him. He had never seen something so large as Draco's eyes scanned down to his torso. It looked like it belonged to a horse. His jaw dropped.
Dun dun dun.
I liked this. I genuinely liked this.
Let's leave them some kudos as well.
Yeah.
We should actually make an account on this website at some point.
We should.
I think we leave it there for this one, but don't go anywhere. You can go somewhere because you need a drink anyway.
I
but
do.
They shouldn't go anywhere.
No, you shouldn't, because we got another episode coming right up.
They should sit there for like the 9 days it takes me to post this next episode.
Just sit there. You're not allowed to do anything else. Just sit there and wait with your eyes peeled at the screen.
Perfect. Just you're allowed to move your right index finger and hit F5 every 7 minutes, but that's it.
Keep it cool. See you later, alligators.
In a while, paedophile.